Good morning, students. As we discussed that syllabus of paper number 9, comparative anatomy of vertebrates during last lecture. Some topics we have discussed. Remaining topics of that paper, comparative anatomy of vertebrates, these are that unit number 1 we have discussed, that is integumentary system. Unit number 2, skeletal system, that also we have discussed during last lecture. Today we are going to discuss unit number 3, that is digestive system of vertebrates. That digestive system, in that topic we have to discuss brief account of alimentary canal and digestive glands. Means in BSc part 1st as well as in BSc part 2nd, you have studied digestive system of, in BSc part 2nd you have studied digestive system of pigeon or aves, birds, in detail. But in BSc part 3 also, that digestive system is there. Why? Because in this year we have to study the digestive system of all vertebrate animals. Means we are going to study the digestive system of Scalidon as a member of Pisces. Then the digestive system of frog as a member of amphibians. Digestive system of reptiles, that is Calotis versicolor or garden lizard. Then digestive system of aves and digestive system of mammals, that is either a rat or a rabbit. Means this paper is easy, but it is vast one. We are not going to study the digestive system or another systems of any one animal. We are going to study all the systems of that all vertebrate animals. So about that unit number 3, digestive system, in that digestive system we are going to discuss brief account of alimentary canal and digestive glands. As you are very well known that digestive system consists of alimentary canal and digestive glands. That alimentary canal, it is the coiled muscular tube of various diameters in various regions. Muscular tube, which starts as a mouth and ends as a anus. So, such a muscular tube is called as alimentary canal. You are very well known about that. And starts as a mouth and ends as a anus. In between the mouth and anus, it consists of various parts. That is, mouth opens into buccal cavity opens into pharynx opens into esophagus opens into stomach opens into intestine. That intestine is divided into two parts. That is, anterior part of intestine is called as small intestine and posterior part of intestine is called as large intestine. And that large intestine finally opens as a anus. Such is called as alimentary canal. What is the function of that alimentary canal? To simplify the food material, or in other words, to digest the food material, a place where the food material is digested that one is called as alimentary canal. And for that digestion requires digestive glands, that is, which synthesizes and secretes enzymes required for the digestion. Such is the function of digestive glands. And generally in vertebrates, that digestive glands are maybe the salivary glands, maybe the gastric glands, maybe the intestinal glands, that pancreatic gland, and a liver. Not actually that liver. Why? Because it only synthesizes and secretes the bile, but that bile not contains the any one enzyme. But in detail we are going to study how that, which are the functions of bile. Such digestive glands, that is alimentary canal and that is digestive system, consist of alimentary canal and the digestive glands. Why we are going to study the comparative anatomy or comparative anatomy of digestive glands of vertebrates? Because that the parts which are present into the alimentary canal, that structure of parts of that alimentary canal, presence or absence of that parts of alimentary canal, it depends upon the type of food on which that animal feeds. Means that, for example, that length of intestine is longer in herbivorous animals, those which feeds upon the plant material. In that, length of alimentary canal is longer one because it requires more time for the digestion. But as compared to that, in carnivorous animals, length of alimentary canal is very short, because if that such food remains for longer time in the alimentary canal, may be the possibility of decaying of that carnivorous food or the meat. So it is not kept for longer time into the intestine. So length of intestine, it is get reduced into the carnivorous animals. So, and by reducing some part of that large intestine. So a variety of changes are there into the vertebrates, into the alimentary canals and digestive glands of vertebrates. Like that of that digestive system, digestion. What is digestion? That conversion of, you are very well known, conversion of complex food material into simple and diffusible food material with the help of enzymes. Means what? That complex food is converted into simple, means insoluble food is converted into soluble form, and diffusible form. Diffusible means after digestion, simplified food material, it is get absorbed into the blood of that particular animal, particularly from that stomach to the intestine. Large amount of absorption of the food material takes place, particularly into the duodenum and the ileum. Such absorbable food material, complex is converted into simple and diffusible. Diffusible means absorbable food material with the help of what? With the help of enzymes, which are secreted by digestive glands or associated glands with the alimentary canal. Such is a digestion. For example, that it changes into the alimentary canal. What type of changes? In fishes, that largest organ of the alimentary canal, largest means very wide and long organ of that alimentary canal is the pharynx, because through the pharynx or through the gills that respiration takes place into the fish. So, as like us, through the pharynx passes the air as well as food material. Here passes the water as well as food material for the purpose of digestion and respiration, like that of a largest organ is the pharynx. Then a variety of teeth. In detail we are going to study each and every part of alimentary canal. In fish, in amphibians, that due to absence of neck, body is divided into head and the trunk region. Neck is absent into the frog, particularly frog. Due to absence of neck, which part of the alimentary canal is very short or reduced? That is the esophagus. Esophagus into the frog is very short due to the absence of neck, as like that of changes into the alimentary canal. Then that into the reptiles, that neck is present, but that a short large intestine is present into the calotes. In birds, that alimentary canal, that jaws are get modified into the beak, horny beaks. Teeth are not present into the jaws or beaks. Teeth are not present. So food material it is not get grinded into the buccal cavity of birds. Even if the food of birds is either hard seeds or the nuts, they are directly swallowed without grinding under teeth. What will happen? Imagine that if we are going to that swallow without grinding, then what will happen? That either the seeds or the grains, then it may create problem in our body, because that particular organ is not present in our alimentary canal. In birds, that hurriedly, they never swallows food material slowly by grinding 32 times under the teeth. No. In birds, that hard seeds or nuts, they are directly get swallowed. That modification is there in the alimentary canal of birds. Modification is there. What modification? Directly that food material, it is not get carried to the stomach. Before the stomach, in the middle region of esophagus, that esophagus dilates to form a modified organ into the alimentary canal, that is crop, which is only present into the birds. Crop. Then that hurriedly swallowed food material, it is get swallowed into the crop of birds. In that crop glands are present, which synthesizes and secretes the watery secretion, and that watery secretion softens, moistens the hard seeds or the nuts, and due to the moistening, that hard seeds and the nuts becomes soft one. Such, then it is carried to the stomach, and there is modification into the stomach of birds also. That stomach, anterior part of the stomach is called as proventriculus, posterior part of the stomach is called as ventriculus, or it may be called as gizzard. That gizzard you have studied in BSc part first or the second, that gizzard of earthworm. What is the function of gizzard? That function of gizzard is, it acts as a grinding mill which grinds the food material due to absence of teeth. Such modification is present into the birds. In mammals, that length of the, particularly in human beings, length of the intestine is larger one, that is near about 22 feet, and one additional gland is present, digestive gland is present in mammals, that one is the salivary gland, or may be called as a parotid gland, that one, and that due to it that salivation is there. So, and that saliva contains the enzyme salivary amylase, which digests the starch, a type of carbohydrate. That one is a starch. Starch, it is get digested with the help of saliva due to presence of enzyme salivary amylase. Such digestive system. Structure of digestive glands, it is different in different animals. For example, into this Colodon, that liver is bilobed. In frog, it is liver is three-lobed. In another, like that, 4 or 5-lobed liver is present. Presence of either gallbladder or absence of that we are going to study in detail. Structure of pancreas also. This is about digestive system of vertebrates. Next, unit 4 is the respiratory system, a system which is responsible for the exchange of gas. That is, oxygen from outside, it is taken into the blood, and carbon dioxide from blood, it is given out through a system. That one is called as a respiratory system for the purpose of exchange of gas. Why that oxygen is taken? That oxygen is required for the many biological reactions or metabolic reactions to produce that food material which is taken into the body. It acts as a fuel for our body, and by burning that fuel, energy is produced as like the energy produced in vehicles simply. But to produce that energy, there requires oxygen, and those reactions which takes place in presence of oxygen, that reactions are called as oxidative reactions. So that oxygen is required. In this topic, respiratory system, we are going to study the respiratory system of all vertebrate animals. All vertebrate animals, fish, amphibia, reptile, birds and the mammals, respiratory system of all that we are going to study during that topic. Which are these? That in this respiratory system, brief account of gills, lungs and air sacs. Generally, that respiratory, that total vertebrate animals are, they are aquatic, they are terrestrial and they are arboreal. That aquatic vertebrates are the Apisces, and particularly that Pisces. Maybe the some mammals, aquatic mammals are there, but they not respires with the help of aquatic respiratory organs. Particularly in that fish, those who permanently lives in water, they are having the aquatic respiratory organs, and that aquatic respiratory organs are the gills. That oxygen which is dissolved into the water, that oxygen it is get exchanged from water to the blood of that particular animal through a organ. That organ is called as a gill, and number of gills are different in different fishes. So that first gills are the aquatic respiratory organs into the fishes. We are going to study the detailed structure of that respiratory system of particularly Scolidae and how that exchange of gases takes place or mechanism of breathing takes place into the feces. Next, the terrestrial vertebrates. That vertebrate animals which permanently lives on the ground. They are called as terrestrial vertebrates. That amphibians, they are not permanently, but they are terrestrial as well as aquatic, so they are called as amphibians, which can able to live in water as well as on the ground. So they are called as amphibians. In that amphibians, aquatic respiratory organs are present as well as air breathing respiratory organs are present. That air breathing respiratory organs are called as lungs. And in amphibians, lungs are present as well as skin acts as a organ of respiration when that amphibian is present into the water. Next, that reptiles. In reptiles, reptile birds and the mammals, lungs are the respiratory organs. But for the aerial mode of life, that birds spends majority of its time into the air or above the ground, so they are called as arboreal animals. That arboreal means spends their life in air, so that birds are the arboreal. And as they goes at high altitude, the concentration of or for the flight purpose, particularly for the flight purpose, they requires more and more energy. So to produce more and more energy, more and more oxygen is required. And to complete the demand of that more oxygen, accessory respiratory organs are present into the birds. Additional respiratory organs. Actually, they are not respiratory organs. That they are called as air sacs, which carries the buoyancy, lightness to the body for the purpose of flight, and also stores excess air, extra air into the air sacs. Such organs, they are called as air sacs. So that topic such we are going to study in that unit number 4, respiratory system. And in that respiratory system, we are going to study that respiratory system of all vertebrate animals. So that remaining topics are unit number 5, circulatory system, evolution of kidney, nervous system and the sense organs. That we are going to discuss in our next lecture. So that all the students download the syllabus from website, refer some books from that online books are there, you refer, be prepared for that topic which we are going to study afterwards. So this is about the today's lecture. We will discuss remaining portion in next lecture, that is the about the unit number 5 or the unit number 5, circulatory system. In that, evolution of heart and the aortic, how evolution takes place, that we are going to discuss in the chapter circulatory system. A very interesting comparative anatomy, but it is very vast. Why? Because we are not going to study the heart of any one vertebrate. We are going to study the heart of all vertebrate animals, that is fish, amphibians, reptiles, aves and the mammals. So we will discuss in detail in our next lecture.